happy to sit to suppose.
Just a little bit. So, I mean, we've got the girls here, thank you, and you've spoken passionately about wanting to continue, so we mustn't be negative about that. So it seems to me to be coming around to this question of, do we go ahead with the potential cost of, I'll say it again, between 2,000 and 3,000 against the budget of 500? Now, I guess, would you like to propose that we do?
I'll propose. Right. I propose that we run a summer play scheme this year with a parish council budget of between, what did you say, 2 and 3?
2,000 and 3,000.
Up to £3,000. So
Up
I
to
propose
£3,000.
up to £3,000. I'll propose it. Is there a seconder for that? No? So you would have to say
No seconder.
no.
Then the decision is that we don't support the play scheme this year. Sorry, girls.
Thank you for your time, I appreciate it.
But I would suggest
Hang on, because you need to put that to the vote now.
I need to put the right. Well, there's not a seconder, so.
Well, if you're proposing that, you're proposing that we don't run the scheme.
Okay, I propose we don't run the scheme this year. Can I have a seconder for that?
Right,
Can I see the show of hands for those in favour, please? Okay. Vanessa's not going to vote. Frederick, probably best to abstain.
I'd rather abstain because I don't know the depth of...
Yeah, I think that's right. So you got that 3 against. You proposed.
It doesn't matter.
3 against 3 to 1. Is that right? Pity we weren't more councillors here.
Tom can come back.
Sorry about that.
Thank you for your time.
It was, what I would suggest is, if you want to do it, run the scheme next year, then there will be a committee. If I'm still around, I think I would like to join in, because I think it would be better to be in on the ground. Look at the numbers.
Budget between £2,000 and £3,000, isn't it?
That's a debate I don't want to have now.
Well, I'll see when the other options are.
Well, let's hold that. That's not for discussion this evening. It was suggested by Councillor Kay that if you wanted to run the scheme without the support of the parish council, we, the parish council, will be prepared to contribute that we have in the budget, £500, to the play scheme. If you're going to do that, the answer to that would be yes.
Well, that seems logical, because we've already...
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not allowed to say anything now, am I?
You're not, I'm afraid.
No. Okay, that's fair enough. I appreciate that. Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good.
Thanks, Jill. Thanks, ladies.
All right. Shall we move on to the next item? Communications. No recommendations, so we just move on. Environmental. Nothing from environmental. And then 10.2 is other environmental issues. Has anybody got anything to say on that? We've had a report from the environment team.
It's on
I'm pleased to say that the contract is finally been awarded and accepted to Hoover, and obviously there's a delay in sort of cutting grass and bits and pieces because of the delay, and so I'm happy that Hoover, because of the delay, had to buy some more heavier plant or release some more ahead of time to cut the grass, because what they had wasn't bad enough to do the job because of the grass.
It's pretty long, isn't it?
So I think, hats off to them there. Obviously things are gradually getting back online, and by the end of June I think that we're in a better place than what we were at the beginning of the month. So thank you, Hugo, for that. As far as Leeds Field is concerned, a number of councillors done a bit of backbreaking work. I'm trying to prepare and seed the mounds with spring flowers. But sadly, because of the cold and the change to the weather and bits and pieces and the heavy rain, the end result hasn't been what we anticipated. But we'll continue to look at that, and obviously, if need be, we'll buy some seeds and put them in myself. So,
successful
successful. So we have on that one. There are a number of things within the environmental committee that we're also looking at. The seats around the village, the one on the village green is broken because it's been quite a few years that these seats, some reasons and the other, previous council and so on. They might be beyond repair. I'm going to go around and have a look at every single one of them, including the table which Percy sits on and sits around, and the five other seats around the village. So I will report back to the environmental committee on the state of those and whether or not they can be fixed or repaired. I'll write a report on that and bring it to the environmental committee. So that's something else that we're doing. I don't know whether you want me to go through everything that's mentioned here, because there are quite a number of things.
Do you feel you want to? No,
Not
but there's one question that
yeah.
I would like to ask. Amenities manager.
Yeah.
Where are we on that? I was talking to Ken, and he said that you've sorted something out with the environmental committee to.
With all each individual contract, the current sort of members on the environmental committee will have one of those contracts to part own until we employ somebody. But rather than go ahead and sort of say the salary will be X, Y, Z, we've actually done a matrix of what we think the allocated time would be against each individual contract. So Mac has spent quite a bit of time on that. I don't know whether you want to enlarge on what your findings were.
When dealing with statistics, spreadsheets and all this sort of stuff, you're really poking around in the dark. However, it was suggested at the meeting that it could take between 2 and 4 hours a week. To get our sort of engagement. But when I ran that through, I found that was actually plenty of time. Quite surprisingly, I expected it to be a lot less. So, the only way to, because there was no way of assessing how long it actually takes to look at a flower bed, make sure it's all trimmed. There's no actual time, so I allocated what I thought might be the right sort of answers and came up with the fact that we're doing okay. Now, of course, it's brooding. It's not being, it's all hypothetical or mathematical. It's got nothing to do with anything apart from using clever stuff on a spreadsheet. However, once we start rocking into, if I should use that expression, once we start supervising each of us in the individual contracts, we will then have a better time allocation to say this takes X minutes, that takes Y minutes. From there, we will be able to find out a lot more to forecast how much work an amenities manager would have to take on to get it done. At the moment, it's guesswork. it looks though it could be okay, but it must be an ongoing investigation. And for each councillor that's taking on each of the contract, for me to put that into a spreadsheet and get some forecasts, I need cooperation. I'm quite happy to do it.
So there's a lot to talk about, but just
Absolutely.
picking up on your numbers, 2 to 3 hours a week, take 3 hours a week, times 6 contracts, times 52 weeks a year, £7,500.
That's right.
Okay, just quantify.
You saw the spreadsheet?
Oh, no.
You didn't?
Is it? No.
No.
No. It's okay, I think you've explained it. So you're going to cover it within the committee. I'm a little bit hurt because I did volunteer to do one. But
We didn't know that.
Well, it's gone now. It's gone now.
You do like it, you like it.
Yeah.
No. I think you've done a great job.
Send it to you, have a go.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
Well, there you go. Okay, you've explained it. So we're doing it, it's a DIY
Yes.
until you get more information.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's.
And have we got a procedure in place? Because there was the rather sad suggestions that complaints have been made, they hadn't been passed through, they hadn't been dealt with in the past. And have we got a system now that if we do receive a complaint, or Amanda receives a complaint, that is dealt with? Okay.
It's a tick box system.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know if that was one of the items you wanted to talk about. Are there any others? No.
Yeah. Fresh, yeah.
Oh, now we come on to the subject of finance. I'm going to ask Mike to help me out on this one because there's quite a lot to get through. I'm going to shuffle my papers on my head. Okay. I always get confused, Mike, about what you want to sign on this balance of the bank. Do we sign anything on that, or is that just that's the sheet I sign? Okay. So everybody received these.
Yes.
Are there any questions? Observations? I'm going to go straight into saying that you're all happy with it when I sign them.
I propose, Mr. Chairman, that you sign the expenditure and income sheets for this one.
Thank you. Councillor Morris. Seconded. Everybody, do I do that now? Thank you. Paid invoices we need to.
No, that's information. That's information, that's information only.
Okay, so we go into the other financial matters. As well, I would like your. Well, we've done the expenditure shed. So internal audit report. You've all received a copy. It seems like a clean audit. Well done, Mike. Again.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for everything you've done in the year. I must just tell you, I wasn't very happy with the way that the balance sheet was shown. I spent hours trying to work out how an alternative way of doing it, and I couldn't. But I'm still looking at it, Mike. Thanks very much.
Okay.
The internal report to be noted, is that, do we sign anything? Or is that,
You just need a minute on the, a note on the
we've
minutes.
all seen it, we've noted it, and no questions, and
Everyone's
the governance statements, Mike, is that
That's
that
the,
one document that,
that is the list of boxes Scanned it in colour, so you put it on.
Right, that's that one.
Basically, it's a list of items saying, have we had an accounting procedures in place for the year? Have we done this? Have we done that? And so on. They're all covered off effectively by the internal audit. So, having had a clean audit, we should be able to just run down and say yes to all the boxes.
So there's 10 boxes, is that right?
No.
No.
Eight boxes for yeses and agreed, yes, others agreed. And the ninth box is going to be an NA because that's about having a trust, which we don't.
I wonder if I'm looking at the same thing. The ninth box and mine says total fixed assets. Oh, I haven't. Okay.
So it's that one. So.
Oh, we looked at this last time, didn't we? Yeah, okay.
So you can either, if you have any questions about any of the first 8 boxes, then we can do them individually. Or you could just say, are we happy that we're all agreed that we're doing what we should be doing, and do it en masse.
So the thing, are you happy that number 1 to 8 will be ticked by the chairman as a yes, and then number 9 will be a non-tick, or is everybody happy with that?
And I'll second that. Well, I propose
Yeah, right. So everyone's in favour with
Everyone's in
that?
favour?
Happy?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So
So what do
you'll
I
do
do?
that at the end?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'll take it. You sign it.
Yeah,
Hmm?
Gary will sort that out at the end.
That's-
No, sorry, Mike.
Oh.
With you, Gary.
No, it actually does say with Clark has to sign that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Final audited accounts to be signed, is that these 2 documents?
Yeah, what that is, that's the background paper. What you're actually authorising is that.
Which
Yeah,
is,
Because
which
there's
is
the summary that goes off to the audit commissions, or would be the audit commissions, so they're abolished.
Can I have a proposal for that?
I propose.
Second. Everybody in favour? Okay, moving on to the insurance renewal. Just as background to that, last year we talked about perhaps having a custom. We only did 1 year with the insurer because there was a question about whether we should have a good in-depth look at what we were covering ourselves for, and perhaps we should have a bespoke, not a bespoke policy, but a tailor-made policy for us. Now they were considered. Brenda Dean liaised with Mike to eliminate some of the things that we were getting cover for. It didn't make too much difference to the cover, and what we have is 3 quotes, 3 insurers. Mike's done a report on that, which we've got. His recommendation is that we go with the cheapest, why not? Which is insurer number 1, who have a 1-year contract for £1,421, and a 3-year contract for £1,350. He goes on to recommend to us that we should enter into a 3-year contract, which would save us £140 per annum each. Right, Mike? Am I right in that?
£70 an hour. £70 and
Okay.
1,450 goes down to 1,250.
Right.
And it means we don't have to worry about it for another couple of years.
Yeah. So, from the chair, I would propose that we take the RFO's recommendation and go with insurer 1 on a 3-year contract. Could I have a second, please? All in favour? Thank you. Last one. Yes.
Can I ask a question? How much do we put in the budget this year for insurance?
I don't actually have the number with me. It'll be on your expenditure sheet from. Oh, it won't, because it'll be.
No, this is just those as a cash.
I'll have to look at that now.
Cash holiday.
It'll be about the same total money because that figure hasn't changed an awful lot from what you get.
Right.
What did we pay last year? Because that determines what
That needs to be looked at. That
Okay.
needs to be looked at.
Okay.
Um,
was just going to ask if we had anything highlighted for the saving that we've just made.
A reduction.
No, that's
A reduction in precept.
I've pretty much thought that. Donations.
Yeah. I'm ahead of you there. but-
Donations, we've already said we would spend it on. So
You've just made another phone.
I'm not sure that we have. I'll let you know because
Thanks to go back.
yeah, no, I'm just trying to have a response to that.
So,
Don't go there. You know.
You managing that.
yes, I am.
Establishment of a second bank account. Mike and I have talked about that. But we've got the base funds of about 50,000. I'm not going to be precise. That we went into this year with. We've said we made a decision last year around this table that we would do anything to prevent that going down below 33,000. So we've got a cushion. The reason for that is, with all of these new developments coming on stream, there may be, probably will be, additional costs for things like the extension to the surgery, the new facility for the parish office. You're aware that we will be receiving a property on the CTRL site that will be for the use of the parish council and others. So there's going to be some capital expenditure in the future that I think we've got to be aware of, although we can't be definitive about. So to keep that margin is wise.